Very good question. What's the most amount of money I've made in a day?
Oh, what's the most money I've ever lost?
What inspires me? So first of all, what's your name and what do you do?
My name is Selene Shaw. I'm known as Coco Shaw across all my socials, and I'm a freelance photographer, videographer, and editor.
Tell us about the first time you tried to start a business.
To be honest, when I kind of went into this journey, I didn't know that I was starting a business or even becoming a freelancer. I used to work full-time in employment, and I really actually enjoyed my job, but I didn't like the routine, I didn't like the structure to it. And I just knew I wanted more flexibility. I didn't know about entrepreneurism. I didn't know what a freelancer was. I just knew that that wasn't it. So I didn't leave thinking, yeah, I'm going to start this business or I'm going to do this. I just left.
What was the job that you left?
I used to work in fashion PR, so I was a VIP and influencer assistant. And yeah, it was really good fun, but it wasn't very creative. And I think that's why as well why I wanted to leave.
What did you want to do when you were a kid?
At one point, I wanted to be like a stunt double, yeah, I wanted to get a motorcycle, do the daredevil tricks and stuff like that. Really random, I don't know why, but obviously that wasn't a sensible plan. So when I got a bit older, I wanted to actually be a forensic scientist.
Oh wow,
completely
again.
Weird childhood.
What do you think your younger self would say if they saw you now, if they met you?
Oh, that's such a good question. I don't know what she'd say though. I think she'd be proud. I think she'd tell me to just keep doing me. And I've been doing good all along, so don't worry too much and relax. Actually, I think she told me to relax a little bit more and not take things too seriously.
What's been your proudest moment in entrepreneurship?
So when I started working full time, I really wanted to move out at the time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna move out. I've got a full time job. Let's do this. And then halfway through this year, they ended up terminating my contract, so I had to go back to freelancing. And I was shook because I was like, I got rent to pay, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And since then, I've actually been doing all right. So I suppose that's my proudest moment, that I'm actually maintaining a household and still running my own business and working as a freelancer. So yeah, that would be it.
What do you think is your strongest character trait?
Always weird when you get questions like this because you feel like you're bigging up yourself, but
big up yourself.
I would say it's my energy. That's the response I get. A lot of time when I shoot with people, they always say they love my energy or it's a nice energy to be around, and I think that's kind of my winning thing. Why I even get clients like I do.
What's the most money you've ever lost or made in a day?
I think loss would have been when my contract was terminated early, because obviously when we had a contract but they didn't abide by the contract, so that money that I was expecting to get, I can't remember exactly what the figure was though, but it was over £1,000, let's say that much, yeah. So, and that was gone like that, because I didn't get normally you get notice before. It was just kind of we're not working with you anymore. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. What do I do now? So yeah, that was over £1,000 and I lost that.
Alright, so you're given £1 million tax free.
Oh, okay.
What do you do with it?
I go and buy a villa in the Caribbean and no one will see me again. No, joking. I would probably want to do something buy my mum a house or something like that. But probably I would try and invest it. I'm in the midst of starting up a creative agency, so that would be amazing. I'd probably kit everyone out with equipment and stuff like that. Try and invest some as well, because you've got to make money.
Capitalism, evil or good?
We all have a choice, and it's what we choose to do with it. Money is paper. At the end of the day, it's what we are choosing and how we allow it to control us. So yeah, no, I think it's people and their choices, bad choices.
What's your worst or most difficult customer or client?
I think if I describe the characters of what a most difficult client is someone who doesn't know what they want. That is so jarring, because it's always kind of just do something and let me see. But I know that you're going to see it and you're going to want X, Y, and Z. So someone who's not clear about what they want, and people who don't communicate, that is very, very, very jarring, because it slows everything down. It slows your process down. You can't get the work done.
Have you ever been conned or scammed by anyone in business?
No, touch wood. No, I have not. I don't wish to be.
Tell us about your lowest point as an entrepreneur and how you dealt with that.
I just didn't really know if I was doing the right thing. I didn't really know if I was good enough. I'm very bad. I always compare myself to other people. So I had to change my mindset. I had to change my perspective of how I was looking at things. But it did take a while. It didn't happen overnight. I actually started. I joined a group called You Make It. It's kind of like a women empowerment group, and that really helped because I got to be around a lot of women who I was able to relate to. So I think that really helped me because it made me realize I wasn't alone in what I was feeling. So then I was able to start kind of get out of that headspace and start thinking more positively and optimistic.
What's your biggest insecurity?
I always just don't think I'm good enough. But I could be better, which we're always learning. But there's at some point where you're good, like even though you can be better, you're good. But I always feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like someone else is gonna do it better than me. So yeah, I'd say that. Doubting myself.
What's the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur?
Invoices. Waiting for invoices to clear is very jarring. A lot of times people say they're gonna pay you and they don't pay you on that day. So if you're kind of heavily relying on something to come in to do X, Y, and Z and it doesn't, it can really throw everything off. So I think, yeah, I'm in the process of trying to come up with something that doesn't put me in that position or create like a buffer space. But that's been a learning, I suppose, as I've been on this journey. So, but yeah, that's really hard.
What's the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make?
Not actually understanding the true core of what they're trying to do. I think, especially in this day and age, it's very easy to look like a business. Like you can get your email, you can get your social media, you can get your registered in a company's house. But when you're not actually certain about your core values of what your business is and what you're trying to achieve, you can very quickly go under because you're just looking like a business. You're not actually doing the work and doing the groundwork. A lot of people don't research anymore. Doing your market research, understanding your audience, understanding what your service is, what your values is, what your USP is. A lot of people don't do that.
What inspires you daily?
My family. Yeah, my family. Because I just want to help them. I just want to do more for them. So I think times when I'm feeling like, oh, I can't do it, I'm just like, no, I got to do this for my grandma, I want to take her on holiday, I want to do this for my mum, so I just got to get up and do it. So yeah, definitely my family.
Is poverty a choice?
One thing I always say is the only difference between like someone like me and someone going through poverty or even homelessness or something like that is because I have family. And I feel like a lot of people sometimes end up in situations like you can have a job one minute, then you're made redundant, and now you're in poverty or you're homeless or whatever that is. I think some of us are more blessed than others in terms of our support system, so we can kind of avoid certain things, but no, I don't think it's a stress at all.
Do you think someone who's in poverty could actively choose to leave poverty?
Yes, I do feel that everything is about your mindset. So even though you can be in your lowest of lowest, if you choose that you don't want to stay there, there is a way out, as you've seen. Like I remember, I think I saw an article on a man who was homeless, I think, and he ended up getting a job as a bus driver, and they gave him an award for being like the happiest bus driver in London or something like that. But it's just because he had that, whatever it was in his head was like, I'm gonna get myself out of this situation. So I do feel like you can change your circumstances, but that doesn't mean to make light of how hard it probably is to do. I don't want to make light of that at all.
Did you ever take on debt to get started in business or to carry on in business?
A little bit, yeah, because when I kind of first started, I took out a credit card and I didn't really understand what interest rates and all them. I should have done some more research. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, yeah, money. And when I was paying it back, I thought I was paying it back and they were taking the interest and it was pretty much the same amount that I was paying back. So I didn't realize that for a while.
With hindsight, would you take on debt if you were starting a business again?
No, because I think I'm a big believer of like making do with what you have in the time, because there's always going to be a better camera, a better laptop, a better software. So sometimes I feel like when you're starting, you just want to spend that money to buy the best of the best, so you can say, yeah, I've got this and I've got that. This is what I can do with it. Whereas probably from that, I would have created the opportunities in that set way to then be able to upgrade or do more for my business in that way, rather than feeling that I needed all of that at the beginning. You can actually get it throughout the journey, I think.
You become the most influential leader in the world. What's your first action?
I don't want to do that. What is my first action? I feel like I'm on a pageant. It's like, I do hunger. What would I do? Definitely something towards probably homelessness. I don't know why homelessness really bothers me. Because there's countries that, you know, they don't, I think it's Finland and somewhere else, maybe Sweden, that they don't have homelessness there. So I feel like if those countries can have those ideals, why can't everywhere in the world?
What's the most shameful thing you've ever done for money, or embarrassing thing?
I used to be a cleaner for a pub, and that was not pretty. Because, you know, sometimes I would be questioning how people be using the toilets. Yeah, I don't know what they be doing. But I don't say it's embarrassing, because, you know, that's to get my money in it. So.
just something really quick that you feel like would inspire or encourage an aspiring entrepreneur?
Do not doubt yourself. If you know where you're heading, if you've got a clear plan, and even if you don't, if you just have a feeling that you know there's something better for yourself, trust that instinct. Do not doubt yourself. I wasted so much time doubting myself and my abilities. Don't bother, it's a waste of time. Go forth, you'll fail, you'll pick back up, you'll go again. I think of it now as, if I don't do this, what else would I do? Something probably that I don't enjoy. So you can't expect there not to be negative times in life. It's always going to come. It's just about how you think about it and how you can flip it and how you can keep it moving. So don't doubt yourself, trust in your journey, don't watch other people, and yeah, go for it. Why not? What else are you going to do if you don't?